wherever you're watching us. This is Superscreen Television, Superscreen News at 10, reaching you live from Lagos. I am Olamide Onwoka. Welcome once again to Superscreen News at 10. The Kogi West Senator, Dino Malai, has urged the Supreme Court to declare the petitions submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, seeking its recall as illegal. The senator, in an appeal he filed against the March 16, 2018 judgment of the Abuja Division of the Court of Appeal, also urged the Apex Court to declare the recall process as illegal. Malai had on Tuesday filed 7 grounds notice of appeal against the judgment of the Court of Appeal, which has dismissed a suit instituted before the Federal High Court Abuja to challenge the validity of the process of his recall, which commenced in June last year. The Court of Appeal, in its March 16, 2018, held that the contrary to Malai's contention, the 90 days provided by the 1999 Constitution for the recall process to be concluded had not run out, but had been paused since June 23rd, when it commenced the suit before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Board of the Management of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has announced the indefinite suspension of 6 directors of the organization. The suspension of the affected officials by the newly inaugurated board was in connection with the ongoing probe of the finances of NEMA by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. According to a statement issued by the head, Media and Public Relations NEMA, Sani Dati, those placed in suspension include the Director of Finance and Accounts, Akimbola Gbolahon, AG Director Special Duties, Umasi Emanike, and Director Risk Reduction, Al-Hassan Nuhu. Others are Pilot in charge of Air Ambulance and Aviation Unit, Manan Ali Ibrahim, and the Chief Maintenance Officer, Gani Yunusa, amongst others. A delegation of Northern pastors under the aegis of the National Leadership of Arewa Pastors, Non-Denominational Initiative for Peace in Nigeria, have expressed concerns over increasing rate of insecurity in the country. The delegation made this known when they visited President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. The president, however, commended the delegation for their comments on the country and maintaining that he does not discriminate on the basis of religion or any other guise. The President Buhari also said the federal government is up and tight in its fight against insurgency in the country, insisting that the security of lives and properties of Nigerians are paramount to its administration. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, says the Nigerian Army will continue to sustain its commitment to Nigerian security. Buratai disclosed this at the second edition of a 2018 Procurement Awareness Seminar held in Abuja with the theme, Optimizing the Operational Capabilities of the Nigerian Army Through an Effective Procurement System. Buratai said the operational capability of the Nigerian Army depends largely on the availability of requisite hardware, highly trained personnel, and other essential resources.
The security challenges facing our dear country manifest in the forms of terrorism, insurgency, separatist movements, and banditry, among others. Thus, there is no gainsaying the fact that the operational capability of the Nigerian Army today largely depends on the availability of requisite hardware, highly trained personnel, and other essential resources.
In his address, the chairman, House Committee on Army, Brimade Shawulu, said the National Assembly will identify with the Nigerian Army in its effort to create a transparent and accountable procurement system that will support increasing operational responsibilities.
One major area that we have actually faced as we try to build consensus on the need to open new windows of funding for the military is the recurring issue and allegations of lack of transparency and accountability. No doubt the Army and indeed the armed forces have been in the eye of the storm with regards to the allegations, confessions, and investigations by anti-corruption agencies.
Report says 6 policemen and 6 others, including residents and bank customers, have been reportedly killed after some robbers stormed about 5 banks in the Offa local government area of Kwara State. The banks allegedly affected by the raids are Guaranty Trust Bank, Zenith Bank, First Bank, Union Bank, and Echo Bank. The robbers, who numbered close to 30, blew up entrances into the banks with dynamite in an operation which lasted for more than 1 hour. They reportedly blocked roads from both Ilorin and Osogbo and entered Owode police station in the metropolis. They were said to have shot dead 4 policemen at the division, including some complainants. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has reinstated Ali Janga as the Commissioner of Police in Kogi State. Janga was reinstated by the IG after rearresting the suspect who escaped from police custody in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, last week. You will recall that the suspects on March 28, 2018 escaped from police custody after being paraded for illegal possession of firearms allegedly supplied by Senator Dino Malai, prompting the IG to sack the commissioner. The Benue State government has asked the medical practitioners to address the health challenges amongst over 170,000 internally displaced persons taking refuge in 7 camps. Commissioner for Health Cecilia Ojabo disclosed this to journalists during the flag-off of a 3-day medical outreach organized by the Nigerian Air Force Medical Corps at the Abagana IDP camp in Makurdi. Ojabo said the medical outreach became necessary following the death of 6 IDPs, mostly children, who were worst hit by humanitarian crisis, starvation and malnutrition, amongst other children in the camp. Now, the All Progressives Congress APC National Executive Committee (NEC) says it will take its final decision on the party's executive tenure extension on Monday. The national chairman of the party, John Odiji Oyegun, and the party publicity secretary, Bolaji Abdullahi, disclosed this in Abuja at the end of a 3-hour meeting of APC governors elected and the national working committee of the party.
The governors, the National Working Committee of our party decided to sit and look at the issues that were seemingly dividing us. And I want to say to you, with absolute satisfaction, absolute pride, that all the issues that you have been commenting about in the last 2 days have been completely and totally resolved. We are back in business as one.
The body spokesperson, Bolaji Abdullahi, said the technical committee constituted look into the issue will submit its report early enough for considerations.
To say that the meeting on Monday is to endorse congresses or begin to plan for congresses. We don't have any evidence that the committee is recommending that there will be congresses. The position of NEC is that those who are currently serving in executive positions at all levels in the party should, at the expiration of their tenure in June, continue in acting capacity. That position still stands. Now, when the committee submits its report tomorrow, or when the NEC meets on Monday, we will now listen to the advice to be given to the committee, to be given to the party. Now, the NEC may now decide if the committee recommends that the position of NEC should be maintained, then there will be no issue. Then the president himself and those who have concern on whether the action that has been taken violates the constitution will have more confidence in the position we have taken. But should the committee recommend that the congresses be held, then NEC will consider the report at the same time and decide whether to reverse its earlier position or not. But as I speak to you, there is no evidence, there is nothing that suggests that the committee will recommend this way or that way.
You will recall that the APC had on Tuesday constituted a 10-member technical committee headed by Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong to advise its leadership on tenure elongation. The Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria has rejected a new directive given by the Federal Capital Territory High Court, Abuja, on how lawyers should dress. According to the group, the FCT High Court had, in a press release on March 28, prohibited the use of any apparel underneath wigs by lawyers and, by extension, the hijab by female Muslim lawyers. However, in a communique issued at the end of its National Executive Committee meeting in Benin, on April 3, 2018, Mulan rejected the directive, describing it as unfortunate, draconian, illegal, unconstitutional, and unlawful. In the communique signed by its president, Dr. Kamal Dawood, the body contended that the directive by the FCT High Court is at variance with Section 38 of the Constitution, which guarantees citizens' right to manifest their religion. The group also noted that the court's decision is contrary to the 2004 resolution of the body of benches, which also allows female law school students and legal practitioners to use head cover underneath their wigs. The Minister of Education, Adamu, says the number of candidates seeking admission into its 104 colleges across the country who registered for the 2018 National Common Entrance Examination are low. In a statement released in Abuja by the spokesperson of the Ministry of Education, Priscilla Ioma, who disclosed this, said only 28 candidates from Zamfara State registered for the examination. Ioma pleaded with the state government, heads of schools, and interest groups to persuade school-age children in the areas with low registration to register for the examination. According to the ministry, the directive had been given to leave the portal open for registration until April 13th. You're watching Superscreen News at 10. We'll take a break now. When we return, it'll be time for some business stars. Stay with us. Welcome back to Superscreen News at 10, and now for some business stars. The federal government says only 4,000 kilometers of Nigeria's 10,000 kilometer waterways is navigable. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, who disclosed this at the Nigerian-Ukraine Trade and Investment Roundtable held in Abuja, said the federal government is seeking partnership with Ukraine to further develop its waterways. He called for increased trade volume between Nigeria and Ukraine, which he said stood at $93.3 million as of November 2017. He expressed hopes that with the visit of the Ukrainian delegation, the trade volumes between the two countries will increase sporadically. Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASEN, has supported the ongoing strategic discussions between the management of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and various consortium on the best possible funding option for the overhaul of Nigeria's refineries. PENGASEN disclosed this in a congratulatory message to the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Maikanto Barrow, signed by the association's President and General Secretary, Francis Johnson and Lubumba Ukabawa. According to the oil workers, the overhaul of Nigerian refineries will help ensure uninterrupted supply of petroleum products nationwide, thus addressing the scarcity in the country. The Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, ASCSN, has alleged plans by the federal government to reinstate the suspended Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Munir Gwazo. The body said feelers from the presidency indicated that President Muhammadu Buhari had been under intense pressure by some members of his inner cabinet to recall Gwazo, currently in suspensions for alleged corrupt practices. You will recall that Gwazo was suspended after being indicted for alleged financial improprieties by an administrative panel set up by the Minister of Finance, Kemi Adeosun. The association, which disclosed this in a statement by its FCT Secretary, Isaac Ojemenke, said the alleged planned reinstatement will further dent the anti-graft war of the present administration of President Muhammadu Buhari. The former chairman of the National Association of Government-Approved Freight Forwarders, NAGAF, Segun Musa, has frowned at the new clamor of the Minister of State for Defense and Hadi Sirika on the use of arms by the Aviation Security Service. Segun Musa expressed his reservation in an interview with Superscreen while reacting on the proposal in Lagos State.
It's unfortunate that at this present security challenge period, someone will be clamoring that we should also allow AFSEC to use guns. Immediately you allow such to happen within the AFSEC. Definitely you're also saying NPA security should also use guns. And if we begin to train everybody to use arms, then it's going to end up turning the country into more dangerous environment. We have the customs, we have the immigration, we have so many other security departments that are actually carrying out the job of ensuring there's absolute security within the aviation sector. And by the time we begin to ensure that move the motion that all security department must use arms, then we are taking a very dangerous step. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. Yes, we might have some security challenges within the airport, but to me, it has not actually overwhelmed the security agencies we have presently within the aviation sector.
The former NAGAF chairman also speaks on the possible solutions to addressing porosity at the Nigerian airports.
I think the rationale are being painted to the public presently by the Honorable Minister of State is that the airport is so porous. The other security agencies are not doing what is expected of them, but that is not enough. All we need to do to correct such deficiency is just to make sure that we call other security agency and we are able to give them a mandate to improve on their methodological approach in carrying out security work within that environment.
Still talking business, the Monetary Policy Committee of Nigeria, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, on Wednesday expressed concerns over the increase in allocation to the three tiers of government. The committee stated that there is need for strong stabilization programs to freeze the growth in aggregate expenditure. The CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, said the CBN committee called on the Federal Allocations Committee to create savings needed to stabilize the economy against future oil prices-related shocks. According to him, the Monetary Policy Committee observed increasing monetization of oil proceeds as evident in the growing FACT distributions relative to the 2017 level of disbursement. At the end of its meeting, the MPC resolved that a quick passage of the 2018 budget will keep the fiscal policy on track and deliver the urgently needed reliefs in terms of employment and growth for the people, and called on the National Assembly to speedily pass the 2018 budget. At this point, we'll take a break. When we return, it'll be time for some foreign stories and the latest in the world of sports. Stay with us.